Alright. It says I'm live. I don't know if this is the second time I'm going live, because it's really acting weird at the moment. So yeah, welcome everybody. I hope my stream is working. Let me know in chat. I don't have my camera on because I am having some really weird problems at the moment. But we don't need the camera anyway. So the big question is whether the stream is stable or not, because I'm just getting really weird dropouts at the moment. Doesn't really say anything here what it currently is doing, which is really annoying. But it says that it's up. Okay, so let's go have a look. So obviously I wanted to prepare a few things, and that is now completely not done because I was messing around with my internet, and hopefully that isn't going to cause too much trouble with the stuff that I want to do. Does it say something about my health? No, it doesn't. Dang it. Well, it does say it's recording, so. Oh, keeping my fingers crossed, Joseph. I am keeping my fingers crossed. Okay. Actually, I'm going to make a new folder here. This is a new computer, so a lot of stuff is not installed on this. And hopefully this won't throw down my internet as I'm downloading all this stuff. Hopefully that will actually be fast enough to download. That's not looking very good. You know, I have very fast internet here, but it is not entirely working the way that it should. Oh, 0. Wow. Come on. There we go. Back up. This is just too weird. Too weird for sure. So yeah, I'm not quite sure what's going on, but bit quiet volume-wise. Let's see if we can up that a little bit. That's already on max. Can I over... can I get that to be more? I'm not actually sure where that would be. Nope. Can I do that in advanced audio? Maybe I can up that a bit. I'm not sure how well that works because I can't really hear what I'm doing. Well, I'm just going to put it like that, and we'll see if that makes it a bit better. So, yeah, let's just see how we're going with this. That'll take a little while, so I guess we can just have a bit of a chat with chat while we wait on this, and see how far we get. So, yeah, as you can see, my internet is misbehaving quite a bit at the moment. Well, it's holding steady at 2. Nope, I spoke too soon. It went down to 1K again. Well, I'm supposed to have 20 megabit upload speeds, but it's not really doing it tonight. Maybe a lot of people are using the internet today. Or maybe I need to start thinking about changing ISP to one that that allows a bit of good uploads towards YouTube. Even this download from GitHub is just crazy slow at the moment. It's normally not this slow. I'm supposed to have 50 gigs down, so I don't know what's going on tonight. Oh, that's going to take forever. Hold on. Actually, I can probably... Hold on, I'm going to break that off because I do have my backup from my old computer here. So we might be able to save us some time by just copying the old one. Here we go. And I'm just going to copy that to my new location. Where were we putting it? Here. Now that's going to give us some interesting errors probably. Because of course this is Windows. Windows always gives me problems. Especially when you get things from another computer. Alright, let's see if that actually works. Alright, so far so good. Fix up for, so I want to go back into master for that. Okay. And let's actually see, git remote. Yep. Full origin master. Let's make sure that we're up to date. Oh, that was a lot faster. Okay. So let's go and make a Godot 4.x branch on this and see how far we can get with that. Now, before we open that, first of all, we're going to get rid of our import folder because it's going to create a new folder, which also means that I want to go and edit this little guy and change that to not import the Godot folder. There we go. Only my son at the moment, Paul. So hopefully that won't be too much of a problem. I've been having some really weird issues lately, and I think it's actually my ISP because I am supposed to have really good speeds here, and so the streaming services are all rock solid. It's all the gaming services and related services that for some reason seem to be throttled. So yeah, who knows? So the other thing that I want to do is we want to get rid of our OpenXR plugin because we don't want it to convert that. We're probably going to redo the research queue because that's all changed. It's going to be interesting whether that's going to work. I'm going to get rid of the Sketchpad plugin because I don't want that to be updated. And I'm going to get rid of XR tools, but I'm going to go, oh, is that going to work? No, let's just leave that out and see how far it gets in the conversion. I have no idea how well Godot is going to convert this, if at all. But I want to remove the add-ons because obviously we're going to replace those with the proper add-ons. Let me quickly fill my glass because my throat's going to go rough if I don't. All right. So, no, I've got that over here. I'm still on 402. I really should download 403, but let's not try that right now. Don't know where it went up there. What did I call it? Tutorials. There you go, never mind. All right, let's see what it does. And convert full project. The option will convert. Yeah, that's fine. Let's see how much of a mess it makes of that. All right. That was quicker than I expected. But it's not going to work. I am pretty sure about that. I'm actually going to remove the VR stuff, I think, for now. Oh, yeah, I made that... that little startup thing, so that's going to help us. All right, so am I using background loading here? I can't remember. This is so long ago since I last updated this. So we're going to go and change scene to file. Okay, that's perfect. So I'm just going to go, oops, that's not a 3D interface, that's a 2D. And I'm just going to go and disable this. Disabled. All right. Let's see if it starts up that screen. In theory, it should. Oh, look at that. It actually is using the resource loader. And that needs to change seriously because that's been completely redone. Oh, that's right. That is a... all right. Let's just go into here and into auto load. And let's just get rid of that guy. All right. now. So now at least I go into there, and then obviously that's going to go wrong. But that's to be expected. All right. Oh, is that the input event here? Very interesting. Okay. I haven't looked at this code for about 2 years, I think. So I need to get my bearings first. But the point is that we're gonna go and start up desktop. I wonder if that even, well, that seems to work. Does get Windows still work? Yeah, it does. Interesting. That returns a window. And then indeed has a mode. Look at that. Cool. So that hasn't changed between 3 and 4, or it actually converted that bit of code. That's of course possible as well. So we're going into our construct desktop. So we are using our construct load here. Where do I find that? In scenes construct. So we got our desktop construct and we have our VR construct. So we're going to ignore our VR construct for now. But we're going to go and have a look at our desktop construct. Boom. So that has our nice little menu, which has the cancel in the wrong place. Oh, that's probably because we're showing both of those, are we? That is a separate UI. Yeah, that's right. I remember that. Close pop-up. I guess. Missing the selection thingies. Okay. Right, gear up, gear down. So that's all that, okay. All right, that's a little dialogue that goes on top of it, that's why. Okay. Just don't know what this thing is. That's just a button, so if I do that. Oh, then I get my close button. So is this guy? Is that full screen or something? Must be full screen. Okay, not too worried about that. I am not going to change any of my clicking around. So, in this case, our player has a camera. That's the camera with which we are looking forward. This also has the alt fade to black logic. Cool. Our loading screen, which is supposed to show a picture, but the picture is gone. Yep, my Godot logo is gone. Why is my Godot logo gone? Did I do a service to override in that one? Maybe. That's probably gotten lost. Because there is no more material on that. That's just a message shader, okay. That's all going to be broken as anyway, so not too worried about that. But I am surprised that my my loading screen is gone. Now, one of the things that I could be changing here is I could grab this from our OpenXR or XR Tools plugin, but I don't want to worry about that just now. So that is where our world is going to go, and then we have our world environment, and this is actually something that I want to change. Because that is the one thing that I actually have in the other ones. Okay, we're gonna get there in a minute. We're not gonna worry too much about that right now. All right, so when we look at loading this, okay, what we're gonna do is we're gonna go to XR Tools because I have a much more new version of that loading logic in here. So we can go and steal that from here. All right. So load scene. Yay. All right. Now that's a tool script in this case. In our case, it's not. So that's okay. Huh. That's right. I watched one of Game Endeavor's things. So one of the things that's changed is that the whole background loading thing is now part of Godot itself. It's no longer a script. So we have a nice little thing called a resource loader that we can start using. Hence us not needing that variable anymore. That's obviously going to start giving us errors. All right. So we are going to go. All right. So in this case, we might actually do. Why not? Fade to black. We need to change the fade to black logic completely. But that's okay. So in this case, we disconnect our current world. Very cool. Boom. Oh yeah, that was the reason why this was different. Because we have a different camera setup in the way that we do XR tools. But we can work with that. That's fine. All right. So we're going to go and do that onto there. So we're going to do that differently. Okay. It's going to go. We're going to do that different. This one instead is going to be, we're actually not going to be using our default env anymore. So we're going to duplicate that guy, and we're going to go and call that loading env. Where did it move it? Here. And I'm going to go and move that in here. There we go. Preload. You. It's a little bit too many quotes. All right. How's the volume so far? And how's the dropouts? Because I'm getting a couple of warnings of dropouts. But I don't know how well we're doing with this. Seems to be uploading stuff. So, all right, so we're going to go and preload that guy. And here, instead of calling a load environment to set that one, we're simply going to go to our camera. Now, that's another good thing. Do we do something with that? No. Oh, and that's the other thing, of course, is we're in construct here, and this is construct desktop, so I also need to open you, because we no longer want our world environment in here. Just the camera there. So I guess we should make that an export variable. Just to make it possible. Export var camera 3D. Okay. Which now means that over here didn't really, oh, because of course, until we fix all the errors, it's not going to allow us to do anything with that. Okay, that's fine. So now I can do if I have a camera and environment is loading environment. There we go. All right. Now, oops, we're going to go over here. And we're going to go and duplicate this. So this code gets quite a bit different. Okay, hold on, let's see. Fade to black. Gonna remove a current world. Reset our player. Set up a camera. Make our loading scene visible. Fade back to visible. And then we need to have our loading logic. So if we have our scene already loaded. Cool. Then we say we just load it. Load our cache scene. Obviously change all the names to what we do over here. Oops. Getting some extra little tabs here. There we go. That means that I need to go and define that here. I guess new world in this case is going to become why does that not work? Packed scene. Is that correct? Yep, that's correct. All right. Else. Bum, 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 bum. Let's just copy this whole thing and update it. Okay, so I'm gonna go start loading that guy. All right, then we're gonna go and get our status. If our status is not equal to loading in progress, we break out. Else we need to update our progress bar, which we currently don't have yet, I think. So we're gonna not worry about that too much. All right, and this of course is going to now be new world, and we're getting that, perfect. And if we have a new world, which we assume that we do, then we instantiate that world, very cool. Fade to black again, get the whole world, fade to normal. Okay, but the thing that we now want to change. All right, we'll see where that's coming from. All right, so we don't care about you. We don't care about, oh, we already had a black environment tress. Scenes, loading. Okay, then this actually is going to go and be used over here. So I got the wrong environment there. That was interesting. There we go. And that means that you can go. We don't need you. All right. Perfect. All righty. We don't care about you anymore. I don't think so, at least. I don't think there's any initialization needed for this. It now just works. Indeed, it now just works. Okay. Now the thing that I'm missing here, but I guess that is actually coming in from here. Is that I'm not seeing anything around how the environment is. Oh, look at that. So world construct, we are keeping an reference and then we're calling load environment. So we no longer care about that. And I also no longer care about that, but I might want to go through my 2 tracks. This is going to be fun. We'll see if these tracks still load. All right. What was the error that it just gave? When you node not found, root input map, absolute path attempted. Okay. That's probably because the input map thing works differently now. We'll have a look at that later, because it might also be. Oh, it's because this doesn't go right. Okay. Where is that coming from? Scene settings. I'm jumping around a bit right now. I'm very sorry about that. Oh, this one. So. Okay. Really? It's not able to do that? Okay. I am surprised that the conversion process does not capture that. I wonder why I commented out 7. Access mode. Okay. Slowly but surely we're getting there. Break device. Oh. Well, there we go. I need to hook up my steering wheel again. And well, other than some connection problems with my internet, things are going well. Plus, looking at very old code at the moment and trying to rewrite it to Godot 4, which unfortunately is probably going to be a lot of work. Slowly but surely we're getting somewhere. Okay. So that makes all the export variables happier. So instead of in Godot 3 where we had to use that bracket notation, we now use our colon notation to define the types. Cool. That's all happy. That's all happy. And then here it goes wrong because it can't load a file. And remember that that has changed quite a bit. So why does it come up with so many things? Where would that be? It's gone all the way up. Would it be a ref counter thing? It's not a bone map. It's not an editor setting I'm looking for. It's not any of these guys. Gone through files. We're not using that. Using a file with JSON in there. So we got a dir access. And I think the new one is called file access. Is that true? Yeah, I've got file access. All right. That's kind of what we need. File is file access open. How does that look like that? So file is file access. Open. All right, so that should open the file. So if you look at open, creates a new object and opens the file for writing. Returns null if opening is failed and you can get open error. Okay, so we can just do load file. All right. And that's probably just file access read. All right. And then we close it over here already because I just get a text and then I convert the text to JSON and it's all happy. So here we do the opposite. We define our stuff. All right, so is that just a new? Because most of these classes have just been renamed and still work the same. But I think that this might be create. No. What then? Oh. Okay. Where do we create a new file? Hold on. save. File open. Da da da. Right. So does that create the new file then? All right. Well, let's try it. File access. Open. File name. Actually, I should have known because that's exactly what it says on the next line. So here, or close. All right. So that should do our input map. All right. I'm actually gonna see if I can get that a bit closer. All right, that solves that one. That should save and fix up all those things. Okay, so I can close that. And that should fix a number of these. So let's go and reopen a few things. Oh. Player VR. Missing dependencies. Why? That's weird. Hold on. Is that indeed what we open up? Run. Oh, that's a really old one, I think. All right. So, startup. Right, that's where we begin. I wonder if that's still used anywhere. Let's not delete it before we know for sure that that is indeed old. Because who knows, I might still be using that somewhere. Okay. All right, we now know that the research queue is no longer needed. Is it still in add-ons? Yep, it is. So, buy my add-ons, I guess. Cool. So, I'm guessing that's all old as well. I guess so. Well, I'm not going to worry about that right now. I think we have some old files and new files crossed in when I introduced this. I think I didn't clean up after myself. All right. So where were we? We were doing this one. No, that's working, so I'm happy with that. Then we're going into this. We still haven't fixed that up. And then we're using that. We're not caring about VR at the moment. We'll bring that back some other day. So with this now, we can assign our camera to our camera 3D. Perfect. So with that set up, we'll check that in a minute. That's where we're going to put that. So in here, like that. So we no longer care about you. So we fixed you. Then we load. Oh yeah, we're checking our tracks. That's right. All right, because that's now preloaded over there. Does that need to be an unready for again? I think so. Which means that I actually want you over there. All right, cool. Okie doke. I think this is pretty much finished and working. So let's go back to our track that we were trying to open. All right. Scenes, tracks, base track.gd. So it doesn't like base track for some reason. Oh yeah, because and that was something that I'm going to change. But before we change that, we'll do it like this. And we'll reopen our track. So, still giving me an error with that. Why don't you like my bass track? Okay. That is loading fine. That doesn't actually have my bass track as a script here. That's interesting. Scenes, tracks. You should have the bass track there. Cool. That's fine. All right. Now, can I load this guy? Now it does load. No errors. Perfect. So the thing that I want to change here now Interesting. Why do I have that as a physics static body? A world boundary shape. Never heard of that. Is that new? World boundary shape. What are you? An infinite... Oh, okay. Infinite plane and will not allow any physics body to go to the negative side. Note that the plane's normal matters. Anything below the plane will collide with it. All right. So that's the all plane shape. They renamed that. Interesting. Wonder why they did that. Anyway. All right. So where are we? Init world. We're gonna do that. So get no player. Get path. All right. Well, we'll keep that the way that it is right now, but I might want to change that at some point. Now, if I remember correctly, oh yeah, it's already calls it as a super. Perfect. All right, I have a feeling that with that, this world loads fine, but I want to make a big change. Oh, what is this? Oh yeah, that's because we haven't set that because we're setting that in code. Okay. Anything? Any other warnings? No, it seems to be pretty happy with that. So what we're going to be doing is we're now going to put in a world environment over here. And I'm going to move you all the way up because I kind of want you at the top. Oh, it's lost that. That's interesting. It is here. Okay. Why? Okay. Actually, something that I want to do as well. Class name base track. Should we prefix that? Nah, that's okay. Which means that I should be able to do base track. If I can spell, that is over there. Boom. There we go. And now we do have our default environment here, which means I can nicely copy that and then nicely paste it over there. There we go. And I'm going to close you. Cool. Because we're going to remove that default eventually once we've set up all the tracks that we have. So that's our test track. Now we also have a track 01. So let's have a look at whether that one loads. That is still loading. Why is that taking so much longer? I think that is the one that I'm using. No, with both I'm using my generated track with, I think. I don't know. Can't remember. Come on. This is going to crash probably. Come on. You can do it. Oh. Finished. Something else. Come on. While that does its thing, let's go and have a look at how well things are working over here. So we have some new import. Oh, look at that. I knew that was going to happen. That crashed. Okay, so there's something in that one that it's not happy about. The question is why. All right. let's first have another look at our the track that worked. So that's not track that worked, but because I do believe that both of them use my track generation. However, this is just done with normal CSGs, is it? Yes, it is. All right. So this is not done with some sort of... I need to make a better terrain for this thing. It looks very blocky. Hey, but it works. Oh, my trees have gone. Oh. Okay. Oh, my trees have gone. That's interesting. No with the scripts. Oh, that's why. Let's fix this up. Okay. I guess that's happy. I was a little bit surprised by that because it's a little bit of double semicolon work. Oh, there we go. All right. No constructive basis matches signature basics vector. Okay. Really? Do we not have that anymore? Is that okay? From earlier. Constructive pure. Is this a static function? Yes. Perfect. That's what we need. So that's going to be from earlier. Perfect. All right, that might work again. We probably lost all our settings for that. Oh. Ah, we got some trees back. All right, so we have also lost all our materials in the trees. Interesting. But at least our trees are back. That's at least something. I really should be using Hungry Protons plugin for that. It's much better than that little script that I came up with. But for now, that works. Okay. We'll fix up the missing materials later. All right. Nope. It's probably already old errors. Although I have a feeling that there's a lot of shaders that I need to fix up. All right, let's give the other, actually let's have a look at this first. Now that doesn't do anything special. All right, do we dare and open it again, or is it going to crash again? I don't know, I don't know. I have a feeling it's probably going to crash again. But why? Because it's not giving us any useful output. Come on. Nope. No, it's not happy about that one. Okay. Okay. 001. Let's go have this look and see what it changed here. Not much. Path 3D. Something with a new transform 3D. That looks pretty straightforward. Nothing that would explain it completely, giving the ghost on us. Okay. I don't know. Alright, well, as predicted, it crashed again. Yeah, go and start at the backup. Let's see if we can find anything inside that file that might explain why it is unhappy. Alright, so we're getting a track base in there. That's resource number 2. All right, so we probably need to have a look at our track base and see if we can actually open that up. So, tracks. Hold on. Wait. Send resource 4. That is base track. Okay. So that's what we're extending. Asset scenes, that's why I was looking wrong. Okay. So in our assets, we have some scenes. Okay, I'm going to check this first because that's all our code. And that is why it's going wrong. All right. No, those are all functions sets. If we change it, we set it to dirty, and we call the third update. That looks pretty much the way that it should. All right. All right, I bet you this is going to crash. And if that does, then we're going to go and disable our update. We're actually going to disable that this is a tool script. Let's start there. Yeah, there we go. Come on, crash for me, please. There we go. Close program. Why does it do that? I don't need you to find a workaround. There we go. All right. The joys of updating something from Godot 3 to Godot 4. But we'll get there. All right. So, assets, scenes, track base. Cool. And I'm just going to disable that being a tool script, which means that now I can open it and I get our original track that was remembered. So, in here we have onCurve changed. We call our onCurve change, which should mean that we mark it as dirty and we update it. Okay. Now, so obviously that is going to go and trigger our update again. Okay, let's protect ourselves against that. And do this. Okay. That is always the one that we want. You know what? We're going to do that same thing here. Okay. That will also prevent it from scheduling a whole from scheduling a whole bunch of call deferreds at the start. All right. I think I'm happy with that. Let's give that another try. Oops. Load up. This is all saved. All right. That now opens just fine without getting into a never-ending loop. All right, cool. All right. So, does that now allow us to open up our other test track? Yes, it does. Ooh, there's a car also with missing. We have lost a lot of materials, I think. Yeah, Rod, I can believe that, but I think that Material Maker is probably a lot more complex than what I'm doing here. I envy you, or I don't envy you in that respect. All right, oh, definitely the default sun could probably be set up a lot better. Oh, that's actually a really good one. I don't have a default sun, do I? Oh, I do. But it's in here. Sun. Cool. Yeah, I do have a default sun. All right, cool. All right. Our tracks are loading. We have a whole bunch of materials that don't work. Probably have a whole bunch of shaders that don't work. So, oh yeah, I wanted to check if I could actually move a track point. Okay. Because that is now supposed to do that. So is that because our if not dirty, we make it dirty and we call deferred. We have called deferred at least once, so dirty should be false at this point in time. Alright. That might be because we need to reopen it before that does something. Maybe. Yes. So now we can see that actually updates it. That's interesting, because it does the road, but it doesn't do the other things. Why won't you do that? Actually, make unique. That is definitely something that's important here. Interestingly enough, it does. Oh yeah, because they are all linked to that. So only when I let go of that, it should be updating all those things. So why are you not doing that? Is there something in my output? that's all working. But this does not seem to be doing what it's supposed to do. Huh. Oh, hold on. Track based. Invalid call to interpolate baked. And someone on YouTube asked me about that one. And that is because that has changed names. So curve is actually a curve property. Okay, so path 3D. Let's start there. So in our path 3D, we have a curve 3D. Big in the full, that's right. Actually, before I go and do anything more, is close all the tabs. And then obviously I need to refine that one. Makes it a bit easier to go through those. Okay. So it is interpolate baked that it no longer knows. And I think that's because it's now called sample baked. Maybe even sample. No, what's that? No, sample baked. This is going to be sample baked. Sample baked. All right. Let's see if we have some more luck now. Okay, that probably now needs to be reloaded first. Proxy is valid. That's true. Wouldn't that be a good thing if the proxy is valid? Weird error. Yes, there we go. Now it also updates the polls as I move this. All right, perfect. All right, another thing fixed. All right, so now the problem with this, the think, we go into our loading scene, and it's going to be for just about everywhere where we're missing our materials, is that this beautiful thing has changed. So we now have on our geometry, we have a material override that overrides every material on the mesh, and we have an override for each individual material. And then obviously we have the original material on the surface itself. So sorry, on the mesh itself. And I think there is a problem in the upgrade or the conversion from Godot 3 to Godot 4. This might already be fixed in 4.03 or 4.1, where it doesn't convert the old material overrides properly. Now, the problem, of course, is we don't have that material handy, but we will have it in our history. So somewhere in here, we have a path to our loading scene. Here we go, this one. Cool. So I'm just going to go and throw a diff on that. And you can see that it actually trying to create a standard material here. That's interesting. And it even has albedo texture to that. But I bet you that on our mesh here, well, we do have a material 0 sub resource 2. However, no one there. So I think that one is actually wrongly named. So what we're going to do over here, I'm going to actually do it over here. Now normally I would want to be able to select that, but because I was not smart enough to save that guy, we don't have it at all. So we're just going to recreate it. Standard material. It needs to become transparent, that's fine. We also want it to be unshaded, which is unshaded. And then we want to go and load our texture. And our texture should be acids, mist texture. And then, I cannot see it. Oh, splash. There we go. We have our splash screen. I'm going to save that. And I'm going to run my diff again. Let's make that a bit bigger. So, you can see that it's updated the format. Perfect. We now have our texture resource slightly different, but that's fine. That's still the same, sort of. Oh, spacing is different. But the important thing is we now have our standard material here. We have a different transparency mode, different albedo mode, and we have that. Now, interesting that it did not actually change those in the file. So it's actually converting that on the fly. But the more important one is that this shouldn't be material/0, but it should be service material override/0. That's the new path. So I think that there is a problem in it loading from the old path to the new path. That is probably where we are going wrong. And we'll probably see a number of similar issues as we go through fixing up a number of other materials that are wrong. But with that, we have our loading screen all set up right. Now, I actually want to go and default this as well to wherever we had that. No. Loading. Black environment. I had expected that to actually update here. That's interesting. All right. That ensures that we're going to start correctly. So that should not be shown. And it stays perfectly black, so we're not seeing the right direction. What is in our debugger? Unready. Node not found. World environment. Yeah, that's right, because I removed that. Oh, actually, before. Oh, yeah, that's right. I don't care about that because it's going to tell us where it's wrong to begin with. Here we go. Where? There we go. It's happy now? It's happy now. Cool. Let's try it again. Whee, there we go. So our thing is loading, but our menu is being shown. Ooh, we are. Oh yeah, because I do need to set that all up. All right. Oh, look at that. We already have some errors in our shaders. Cool. Not sure which shader that is, but we will deal with that in a minute. Lots of errors here too. Perfect. Okay, that's fine. We will be able to deal with that one by one. The first thing that I want to deal with, and did I by accident make that visible? Settings, let's see. Okay, so open settings, project settings, input map. Open settings is unset. Ooh, that's interesting. Okay. I don't know what that was. Let's assume that's escape. Needs to be something. And that does pop up just centered. Okay. So. Settings. That is a pop-up. Does that need to be hidden by default? That's a good question. It might just need to be hidden by default. So let's see if that's the case. Okay, that does bring it up. Can't press close though. Doesn't work as well as it once did. All right. All right. That should be hidden as well by default. Interesting that that is the case now. Okay. Why is that? I don't get this. I don't get this. All right. My gut feeling says that that close pop-up button should just be in our feed box like this. Is that actually going to now? Yeah, that's still good. Now, are we doing something more with that? All right. Let's see. Boink, boink. There we go. If I press escape, I get that. If I press close, it closes again. All right. We've got some sizing issues, but our start is there. All right. Now, I haven't got any, what you call it? Oh, I can't remember what the name is. I haven't had any style set up. How does it know that it needs a bit of border here? Is this offset? Layouts. Container set, no. Transfer. Yeah, so it's 25, 25. Wondering what is a good node to use here, just to add some spacing. There should be a margin thing in here. This node is a child of a use container properties for positioning. Yeah, that's fine. Let's see. I think that is something that this should be put in. So margin container. Boom. I'm going to put that in there. Now that's going to screw up a whole bunch of things here. Let's first make sure that this works the way that I think it works. So that should automatically size. Where do we set the margins? I have a beautiful margin container around this. But how do I configure it? Because if I remember correctly, the margin container should allow me to define a margin. That's the theme override. Okay, theme overrides. There we go. That's why. So do I have something in here around that too? Just separation. Okay. So I should be able to say 25, 25, 25, 25. And that should mean that our V-box has nicely got a border around it. All right, but it also means that we need to go and put, there has to be a better way to do this. But for now, we're taking the quickest route to doing this. Yep, here. I hope that's all of them. I don't know. But I hope that's all of them. So, mode. That's all corrected. Perfect. Hey, Bruce. Yes, cool. Well, yeah, so the answer was that it's no longer interpolate bake, but it's now sample baked. So just a rename of the property. All right. Now we have a nice border around this. However, our default values should still work as well. All right. So let's see. Steering map. Oh, that obviously needs to have a similar sort of thing. But my... Okay. Double check, is this connected? Yes, it is. I'm just trying to use my my controller, but it's not recognizing my controller for some reason. That could also be because... Okay, what does it say? PC USB? Yep, that's set correctly. I don't know. Oh, trying the wrong button. All right. So, we have a map dialog with a label and a cancel. And those are just positioned, if I recall correctly. So if I make that visible, we just have those two just positioned. So we're obviously going to change that. We're also going to do a margin container over here. Let's actually make that visible just for a little while longer so we can see what we're doing. We're going to give these a margin. Then we want a VBox container. Then we want a label in there. And we want a cancel button in there. And now we have that nicely aligned. And with that, I can make that invisible. Alrighty. So, why is our input not working? Okay, we're gonna map the different versions. Cool. Joystick motion. So I'm gonna check if we, okay, so. Alright, change true. If changed, then mapping is that, and we can go and make that invisible. Update mapping display, and viewport status handled. All right. Why are you not working? Well, that could still be something to do with our errors here. Could have nothing to do with our errors. Alright. We know that our map pop-up just opened up. Yeah, so we say gear, pop-up centered. So we know that our map input is now gear. Cool. So that's no longer none. So we're gonna go. All right, let's go and put our prints in just in case we are getting something. Let's see if our mapping still works. Map. Cancel. 4. Alright. Well, we have our main shader thing. Maybe we should fix that one first. Let's try and figure out which one that is. It would be nice if it said actually something about that. Which shader could that be? Alright, let's first do we get status here again, because we have all our shaders listed here. Let's just go through them. We've got a bunch of materials, and let's just look at each one of them. Because at least that way we clean up our messages here. We can hopefully see a little bit more about what we're doing. Alright. And actually, a good point. That could also mean... yeah, we'll see. Yeah. That's only function. Okay. That is now static, so that can just be like that. Okay, that's nice to know. Cool. That's just a warning. Okay. Oh, that's a shader inside of the down. Okay. I want to start with that one because that's in the car. No, that's in acids. Why did I put it there? Turbo thread. Okay, to run. Dial. Dial face. Inspector. Color. Scripts. Oh, it's in here. Yep. 0 empty. Huh. Okay, so here we are about to lose. I think so. Let's fix that up real quick. All right. Hold on. No, I am looking at the wrong. Scripts. Face. Here we go. Okay. All right. Those are just. All right. Hang on. No, it isn't dial TSCM. Okay. So we're gonna go and get this because again, we're not creating our materials properly. But it's complaining about shader. Alright, so it's still hidden in there. So let's go and liberate it. Assets. TurboScript, cater him. Open with Visual Studio Code. Here we go. Here is our shader, which is not happy about, but that's okay. Let's see what is a shader for. So it's ID2, sub ID2, shader material. That's shader. Cool. That is ID3. So where is that used? Here, material. Cool. So we need to recreate that. Oh, ah. So it is on the face. create a new shader material. There we go. Create a new shader. There we go. This time it wants to have that as a, that's really something that I like as an improvement for Godot. That it no longer forces you, no longer by default allows you to create the shader inside of the scene file. Okay, so that recreates this. This is still a shader with a bug in it, but let's do things one step at a time. So it is sampling from face, whatever that. So that is the material here. So now it's sub resource 4, which is my sub viewport. Okay, so excuse me. Shader parameters, face is going to be a new viewport texture on this resource because it's not set local. Yeah, well, then make it local to scene, that's fine. I'm happy for it to be local to scene. Viewport texture, this guy, okay. All right. There we go. We have a working dial. That saves that one. And that's already updated it because, of course, I saved it right away. All right, cool. That's fine. So that's that one fixed. Okay. Still not quite sure why that's going out, but anyway. We have our K-trim dial working properly now. All right, cool. So now we're going to go to Assets, Materials, Road. All right, why are you complaining about that? Road, texture, road, normal. Texture, Bit color RGB. Why would that be? Is using saving this resource as scene, which contains it, in order for it to continue working in future versions. All deprecated parameter names. Is that then in the material that it's actually using it? Because that looks perfectly okay. Okay. Well, let's just go through these. Just keep saving them. It's not giving any other hints here. This one indeed is correct that it's not doing that, because that now needs to become some special uniforms. So, no, that's actually defining here. Uniform. Sampler 2D. Depth texture. And depth texture. That should now work. There we go. Perfect. I like that to be an empty line at the end. Cool. Terrain. Looks alright enough at the moment. And then that just uses that all, and it looks fine. That's just my default. Alright, happy enough with that. Except that height map. Come on. filter linear. Split map. I just want to do filter linear. I don't want to use mid maps for those things. And that's just normal. So we're gonna leave those as defaults. Same with those. Or are we gonna go and do filter linear as mid map? I think so. I want to do that here, here, and here as well. And here I want to do the filter linear again. All right. That should help a bit. But making sure that those all work. So that's a big difference between Godot 3 and Godot 4. Is in Godot 3, it purely was whatever you set on the texture when importing. But in Godot 4, you can control whether you want to use linear and mid-map filtering on the uniforms themselves. So even if something has a mid-map, you can tell it to ignore the mid-map, or if the default is nearest neighbor, you can say, no, I want to overrule that. That will all work just fine. Is this one still happy? Yep, still happy. It's very disconcerting seeing the warnings in my stream health tab. Looks like about every couple of minutes I get a dropout. Ooh. And I've had a no data at some point, so I hope that the stream didn't cut out at some point in time. So hope you guys are all still with me. Okay, well, we'll soldier on. But all these have now been dealt with. That was actually this one, okay. Oh yeah, those were just as we're typing, we get those errors. Okay, I want to go and close a bunch of things again. And we're gonna go clear all our logs, perfect. And let's go and open our test track again. See how many things we get back as errors. Now starting to look good. All right, maybe we should fix our trees. That would be nice. Come to think of it, I think maybe our walls need fixing too. That looks like it has a material. That material works. My deco materials aren't working. Not at all. There's definitely something wrong with my deco materials. Okay, hold on. Let's fix my tree first. I want to fix my trees. All right. So, poly tree. You inherited. Okay, the tree is imported correctly. Okay. Tree. My tree looks fine. Here's my tree. Okay. But I betcha that is not a reference. That has actually been okay. Easy to fix. Copy. Paste. Not all gone. Interesting. Why? Well, still complaining about a lot of the shaders. Remap pyramids not found. Flags are all put right there. All right. that's all good. All right. Paste. I might just need to reopen this before that works. Actually, what I want to do is I'm going to do copy. Now I'm going to do paste. Might actually even save that to a resource. Paste. 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 Bump. Drag. Why did that not work? That is really strange. Okay, let's get another look. Which is a tree? Is that this one? No, that's the people. No. No. I should have checked that first. 330. Here we go. Hey, buddy.
Hey, streaming?
No, it's still streaming. But trying to figure out why this is not working. Sketchfab. Oh, that's the one I'm using. Okay. Oh, hang on. Oh, here we go. Low poly tree. Re-import. Interesting. All right. Let's try this again. And now say copy, paste. All right, so is that something maybe in the script that is not working right? Oh, the scale is shattered. That might have something to do with it. All right. Let's just make that S. Okay. That solves that warning. Okay. We're creating new multi-meshes for these. That is something that we're doing in Ready. So need new multi-mesh, give it a transform, and assign it. Yep. Trying to use the pickability in 3.5. So far it's good, except my car is constantly vibrating. I've had the vibration issues in the past. And it is a matter of getting the values right. Because it happens when there's a feedback loop in the dampening that it doesn't dampen it enough. But I don't really have an off-the-cuff fix for it. I'm gonna do this. So I wish I had more help for you there, but I know it's fixable. It's just, it takes a lot of experimentation until you get the right values. It also helps that when the car is standing still, so you apply a little bit of brake. Just to not give it a reason to try and move very slowly, and that generally leads to a vibration as well. Okay. Alright, so let's see if that wants to work. That does something good. What am I missing? Why is this not working the way that it's supposed to? Still getting a lot of those warnings. That's pretty normal. Because that just means that something is not being destructed in the right order. Alright, I want to have first want to have a look at that screen space one, because that's starting to annoy me. Okay, spatial. These are indeed all those decals. Alright. Yeah. It's the screen space shader. Oh, I've lost all my textures and stuff. Is that what these... Oh, I lost my arrows now. That's nice. Okay. We're jumping around a little bit, but so be it. Is that misc? Start. Okay. It's there, but it's not working correct. Okay. So look, we don't really care about those. Do I really use those anywhere? I don't think I do. So, might want to make those optional. All right. Stop it. So is that in the help here? I don't know. Hint depth. No, that's not in there. Okay. All right, Google to the rescue then. Hint depth picture. Hey, Cyber Habino, how are you doing? Four. Screen texture, yep. Depth texture, here we go. All right, so depth is no longer the da-da-da-da stuff, so that might have something to do with it. Okay, let's start with this 3D. Does that seems to do something, but not enough. It's actually too wide. Okay. Why? Could be that all the other settings are suddenly all back to default. Why can't I see this? Oh, here it is. Okay. Scale. Okay, so that's not unprojected. That's fine. Yeah. So we can see that that is so the depth works in this case. But alright, so normalize. I'm not sure if I really get that. So I'll go with it for now. The depth. Yeah. Oh. That actually does make sense. Why would that be that way? I would want to do that the other way around. There we go. This minus. Oops. Yeah, now it's nicely in there. Okay, maybe a little bit less overdone. And I make this just to cut off the repeating bit. I think that's good enough. Yeah, that's pretty nicely anchored to. Oops. It's a little bit. Okay. Oops. I actually want to keep that one there, the way it is, but that one can save one. Just want to get rid of that little edge there. Okay. We have our thingies back now. Texture. That is just a white texture. Okay. I guess that's okay. Well, as far as I can see, that is nicely projected onto the ground now. I had expected it to be a bit more white, though. But it might be because we don't have any of these. Let's see, what are our hints there? So metallic is black, roughness is white. Yeah. Seems good enough. I don't know. I think that's the best I can do with that. Oops, let's go and save that first. And now here. So that is our nice little arch. And then we also have a starting line here. That is our using our screen space as well. Now, that could just be not working because, yeah, look, that is working actually. Ooh. That is actually working because we now fix our shader. But we don't see that here because there's nothing to project it on. There's nothing underneath there. So our checkerboard there is working just fine. Perfect. Sweet. All right, so we got all of those working. Now, why do our trees absolutely refuse to work? All right, so let's clear this again. Okay, so what time is it? It's 10:30. I'm gonna give it a half an hour more and see how far we get. But I think there's gonna be a second stream to continue on this. I think I'm gonna pause the problem that we have with the trees. Because I'm not quite sure what's going on there, but trunking these, so that's all good. So as long as we call update multi-mesh, it should be fine. Triangles mesh. Actually, that no longer needs a default null because that doesn't work. Or does not apply, I should say. And heck, that might do exactly what we want. Yeah, still no luck with the trees. Definitely have a mesh with a tree material. So yeah, I don't know. But I don't want to waste time on that because that is not really important to getting our basics working. So I think right now we need to figure out why I'm not getting controller input. Now, one of the other things that I think is important to check out, and for that, I might go here first. And let me see. Where is my car? Right here. Still really important, that guy. You can see that actually none of the materials seem to really be doing much. It's really interesting. Not quite sure why. All right. Okay, let's go here. Where is my car? Here's my car. Go. Oh, yeah. Whoa. There you go. A nice white car. Buddy. lots of services here. Car paint. Okay. Gitterham? What was this? Car paint. There we go. Now remember that I created separate materials in the original as well, because that was an easy way to overwrite them. So I'm going to do the same thing here. Sorry, what was that? Carbon. Carbon. This one. Okay. Material 499. That's a really good name for material. Do we have that actually in here? Material 499. Yes, we do. Cool. Logo. Material logo. There we go. Gas trunk. Gas trunk. Here we go. And a material 500. All right. There we go. All right. That's already starting to look like something. Glass. Okay. Glass. Load. Glass material. Boom. Now we can see through our window. Cool. Starting to get somewhere. Okay. Backlights. Load. Black. Rear. Oh. That's starting to look nice. Oh, wait. That one needs to actually be the next one. Paste. Load. I'm guessing that's this one. There we go. Perfect. Sweet. No, that's that one. Which? Huh? Okay. Let's move her over. So this is... Oh, reflects. Okay. Copy. Load. There we go. There we go. Perfect. All right. So we did the body already. So exhaust tube is next. We got gloss metal. Glossy metal. That's that one. And then we have 001. Brilliant name for material. There we go. 001. Oogie. We already did glass, so what about interior? For some reason that one looks like it actually does something. Alright. Because we do have an interior, which is really interesting. So why did this one import correctly and the other ones did not? Oh, because these don't have textures. That's why. But we're still going to overwrite them. So start with glossy metal. And specifically the dials. They're going to be... Oh, no, I don't actually need to do the dials here. That's right. I forgot the name. Glossy metal. That's awesome. Glossy metallic. Okay. Red button. So actually this one is wrong. So red button. I don't think we have a material for red button. Because I think I've only done the materials that actually needed things. So I'm wondering why that one went right. Okay. Service 3 Oh, does that count the same? Yeah, 0, 1, 2. So this is carbon. No, service 2 needs to also go. Load. Carbon. It's this one. Boom. And then car paint. Load. Car paint. There we go. So that's now. Oh, that's really nice. So the speedometer for some reason worked. And maybe black? I don't know. Yeah, black material. There we go. Well, that's kind of cool. Wonder what the carbon is used for. So we don't have the red, but that's that button. And we don't do the dials. But if I remember correctly, I have a overruling speedo dial. So those are actually little objects that that overlay the original faceplate, which is why these are very different from the dials in there. All right, I've enough of that. All right, steering. Okay, carbon. Cool, so the carbon interior for that. Car paint. So we got a blue little center. That's funny. And then black. There we go. Steering wheel looks proper now too. Those are okay. The tires look alright. Do we need to do something with the tires? I don't know. Material 12. It's brilliantly named. Material 12. That's this one. Okay. That's the no-name material. The hash material. Glossy metal. Glossy metal. Okay. Disc. There we go. So that's our brake disc. And our tire color. Tire material. So that should give us a nice tire on there. Very cool. Much better. Okay. Next tire. Oh. There we go. Ugh. Material 12. And then material no name. Miracle that doesn't give an error. And then glossy metal. Disc. Oops. And then the last one was tire. There we go. Okie do. Next wheel. Sorry, this is a little bit repetitive, but we'll get through it. I think after this, we're just going to see if we can actually get the car to drive again. I wonder why it is not reacting to my controller. It could be my controller that's just being annoying. Glossy metal. Disc. Where's disc? Here's disc. And the last one was tire. One more wheel after this. Okay. All right. Boom. Boom. Load. Material 12. Material no name. Glossy metal. Disc. And then the last one was tire. Tire material. Okay, cool. All right, wings. Oops. Up. First is car paint. It's that wing that we're doing right now. Black. Doesn't look very black. Lamps. Okay, we have a lamps color. Where are lamps? Lamps material. There we go. And turning point orange. Could have guessed that one. All right, there we go. So where's the orange thing? Oh, there's this one. Cool. All right. The next wing. Car paint. Ah! That wasn't what I had in mind. Okay, black. And lamps. Now, normal, of course, if we're starting from scratch and we're just importing this model properly, we wouldn't have these problems. It is that I am working with the previously imported model that I completely set up, and then we lost some things during the conversion that we now have to do this again. All right. Remember watching the original tutorial about 2 years ago? Thanks so much for getting so many people into Godot. No worries, William. I'm glad that you found it interesting. What performance potential does Godot 4 have over 3.5? I was working on racing game project last summer, but had to do some study. Now I don't know which version to choose. Okay. Today, there is still a lot to be done on Godot 4. On desktop, it's generally is faster than Godot 3.5. It depends a little bit on what you do. There are certain things you can do that you can really drop performance, because there are a couple of areas in Godot 4 that still need some work, especially around, for instance, the physics engine. That can be a drag on performance. But generally speaking, rendering-wise, most things are faster on a desktop. If you have at least a GPU with modern capabilities, then Godot 4 will run faster than Godot 3. On mobile devices or on low-end GPUs, like the inbuilt Intel GPUs that you find in laptops and things like that, there is still a lot to be done. Now, Godot 4 does have an OpenGL fallback renderer that performance-wise lies between the Glass 3 and Glass 2 renderer in Godot 3. However, currently a lot of features aren't implemented yet. So keep in mind that Godot 4 is 2 months old now, since the original release, and the original release was focusing on getting the functionality to work, not necessarily getting the performance where we want it to be. So there is still a lot of work to be done there. If you're starting on a new project and you are working on desktop, I would definitely recommend just starting with Godot 4. If you have an existing project, or if you're targeting mobile devices or low-end devices, I would stick with Godot 3 for a couple more months. My estimate is that the performance problems that are there will probably take until the end of the year to sort out, depending on how much help we get and how many people get involved in solving issues. But at the current rate of development, I would say that if you're targeting mobile or low-end devices, you might want to wait for a month or a couple of months more. That's it. On a desktop, it works pretty well. Now, this is a very beefy PC that we're currently working on, so I wouldn't say that what we're doing today is very representative performance-wise. So, yeah, try it out on your own machine to see if it is fast enough for your needs. But there's still some ways to go. All right, I think we got the materials of our caterer back the way that they were. That's pretty good. I'm assuming that the rest will probably be the way that we want it to be. I'm not quite sure what this is about. probably testing something there. Ooh, we have to fix this up too. Ah, now we're going to run into the curve issues. All right. So, same thing here. All right. That could also explain why our car wasn't running. And even though I don't actually need to declare these, I do like declaring them just so that it's easier to recognize stuff. Now, this is going to hopefully give us some more errors. Or are we not going to get that? And here we go. So let's actually do a search on those, because that now needs to become, what was it? Sample baked, I think. Yeah, it was. There we go. I'm surprised that our errors aren't doing that. So yeah, because we've correctly classed them as curve. I don't know. Probably has a good reason. Now the other thing, of course, is, has it now lost? No, it's kept them all. So we haven't lost the properties. That's at least good. All right. Okay. Oh yeah, we've got a speed info that we're putting on screen. That's fine. Okay. Let's see. Where are we now? All right. We get our message for speed and RPM. And we have nothing else. Oops. That wasn't quite the button that I meant. Unless it was, might have been my runtime that just crashed. Let's try it again. It might crash again, but that's fine. Okay. Yeah, it's pretty clear that we're crashing. Let's hope there's something in the logs that we can chase. Yeah, depending on what your game project is, sticking with 3.5 for a couple of months is probably safest. But again, if you're on desktop, give Godot 4 a try. You're not the only person who's working on a racing game. I know another person who is making a serious attempt, and he's doing everything in Godot 4, and so far it is working more than well enough for him. So yeah, okay, so we have a lot of these. Still have that road shader giving. I don't get that, because that we fixed all those up. Oh. Oh, that's interesting. Are we not using that? Let's do those things so they work. Okay. All right, got all those guys. Deprecated parameter names. Try saving resource. Okay. Shader. I actually want this to be Instantiator. Definitely want to have that saved separately. No. Oh, filter linear back. Okay, cool. Right. It's not complaining in here anymore or anywhere. So maybe that's all that it wants us to do, or does it? All deprecated parameter names. Is that the way that it does that? That might be the case. So the fact that we now resave that should have fixed that up. And then probably these errors. I don't know. Okay. Oh, here we get a bit more. So that's no scene resource material. That's just the code where it is. It would be so nice if it tells us which scene that was in. And I think that's the same thing with these. It's not the shader that's the problem. It's where it's used that is the problem. Because it's receiving a deprecated parameter name from the scene data. Then again, you know, we already updated this. Parameters. Okay. Yeah, that's fine. Actually, just to force it to resave, maybe that will fix that up. We've done that one already. You know, these we won't know. But that has nothing to do with our crashing. Load worlds condition. Actually, is valid is true. That sounds like it's not an error. That sounds like it's actually supposed to be. So, not quite sure where that's coming from. So, new world instantiates. So, with that, we're instantiating our track. So this is when we are looking at using a, what do you call it? Viewport texture. And the only place where we're using a viewport texture is on the speedo dials. And we are doing 2 of those. So obviously here, we have this to the viewport texture. That is a local to scene resource, which that is as well. Hi Haskell, how are you going? So that's most likely where that is coming from, but that isn't a reason for it to crash. All right, so let's see. Track car. Let's posts. Oh, look at that. Let's go and make sure that all our path. Which one is this? Fence posts. Okay. It's currently giving error there. where is the path? Path 3D. Because that's one of the things that has changed here. Which is kind of cool. Path 3D. Path is new path. Yeah, cool. Vector 2, there's that. Okay. Path node. No. Okay, so this can actually just be called path now. I don't need to have that anymore. Okay, path is new path is path and inside tree. Cool. Don't care about you. Do care about you. Okay. Path and inside tree. Update instances. Path. Earth. There we go. This is good. There we go. There we go. All right. Sweet. Okay. Alrighty. Cool. That looks like it's doing the same as well. Okay. Cool. Alright, what other scripts do we have here? So that one we already fixed up. That's also good. Okay. There's no scripts on that. Perfect. Just going to verify that all the scripts seem to make sense. That's good. That's good. That doesn't have scripts. Already checked those. We've already checked that one. Okay, test scene is fine. All right. So in theory, all our scripts should now compile. Let's see if we get a little bit further. No, still crashing. Now, usually a crash at this point. That went a little bit further than I wanted. Usually a crash at this point means that... oh, we've missed... we've lost our world environment. That's interesting. Why did we lose that? Actually, that we can get rid of this now too, I think. Oh no, that was where the other, where I wanted to get the other scene good first. Track, okay. We need a world environment here as well. Here we go. And with that, we do copy, paste, there we go. Okay, so our default environment is crap. Really? Sky. Oh, yeah. Oh. Sky material is empty. Why did we lose our sky material there? Or this? Did we accidentally lose our default environment? No, whatever. Let's see if we have a nice... I thought we had some things in there. And why did I close that off? Okay. No. Maybe I should have moved that there. See, there's an image there. Oh, haha. Let's do a panoramic sky. There we go. And now we do a load. That is the worst quality one though, but so be it. There we go. We're also missing our ground material here for some reason. Oh, whatever. All right. So there we go. We got some background again. All right. And with that, I now no longer need that one. Oh, really? There we go. So that, I no longer have that. Cool. I no longer have that. However, that still does not explain why we are getting a crash. Okay. Let's go and have a look at a card. Because usually when we get a crash like that, it is one of our properties that is failing. So we need to look at the properties that have setters and see if we have a setter that causes recursion. This one doesn't have setters. Okay. So here we just have that we go to set path. And that looks okay. If we only get stuff from there, so that is fine. But in ready, we call set path path. That might be our recursive issue. So we're just going to do that like this. Okay. All right. Because that's the problem. You cannot call the setter from outside, because when you call the setter directly, then the moment that you assign this will actually cause the setter to be called again. And you get this weird loop. So this could potentially be our problem. Is there anything scripts in here? No. Check the car scripts. What other scripts do we have? Tree scripts. Might have the same problem. No, here we all have set. Okay. Ready is just doing the normal thing, and then dirty true. Okay. Is dirty true by default? Yes, it is. So that is a little bit double, but we'll leave it in. Okay. All right, let's give that another try and see if we crash again. Okay, where could we still be having problems? It'd be so nice if we just get an error on this. Come on. Figure out that you crashed. It's being more difficult than the last time. There we go. Cancel. All right. Well, this is starting to clean up a bit, which is kind of good. So we still have a road shader here. And a bunch of normal materials. Okay. Main road, material, road shader, shader materials. 9, 8, save. See if that fixes that. Might be good if it does. Okay. Just start disabling scripts one by one and find out which one is causing crash. Probably that is what I'll end up doing, yes. Just wish that I could have spared myself the trouble. One of the things that is a bit annoying with Godot is whenever you disable script, you also lose things. Especially when there's export variables. So the question then is, what is the safe way to disable things? Well, actually, one of the things that we could also do, we can go to startup. No, not the startup. To construct. And let's start and load our Tracker1 test scene, because that one's way simpler. Because here we only have our path for our road. Does a color for update, okay. And our car script. So let's see if that one works. Does that not crash as well? That one crashes as well. Okay. That's fine. Oops. Went a bit too far there. Okay. Okay. Yeah, that's fine. All right. Let's be a real jerk. Actually, node 3D, you on the there, put you there. This one. Yep. Bye bye. Okay. It's getting real into it. Okay, we haven't crashed, but we also are in Never Never Land. Why are we like that? We have a world environment. Perfect. We have a sun. Perfect. we don't have anything that now changes our player, which means that that should still be, where does he, nah, yeah, yes, I know what's going on. That was the one thing that I had forgotten. So, in our construct logic, we are now assigning the environment to the camera when our loading becomes visible. But the code to undo that was in the loading or the setup of the world, and we're no longer doing that. So as part of this, we actually have to unset the environment here. All right, cool. And because we have that stored in a variable, that should stay. Okay. So in this case, we might not have crashed at all. We just didn't see that we were still running. Okay, perfect. So the next thing that we're going to do, I think that was this one, is bring in our road again. Okay. We still have our road. So far, so good. So the next thing we do is we bring in our car again. Put our driver on the car. Put it there, and we can get rid of you. And let's see if we crash now. Now we crash. So we have a problem in the car. All right. And that, of course, stops too much. All right. Okay. Let's get that one back. Let's go and have a look at our car. Let's close these other things. Car. 3D. What is on the car? So we do have that sub-viewport script. Putting that in that. One of the things that I'm thinking about doing, seeing that it's complaining about this, is I'm actually going to go and clear that guy. That's just doing a rotation on the dial. Okay, that's because we're over here. Yep. Dial. That one we're rotating. Okay. Perfect. That seems to be fine. But who knows? That might be the problem. All right. Now, let's just see if that was our problem. Because it kept giving us warnings about that. No, that is not our problem. It's closing both again. It's so annoying. I don't want to wait for it to crash. Okay. So, could still be a car script. We don't have anything in ready. Let's return out of process. Let's return out of physics process. So that should mean that we're not doing anything anymore. Oops. Okay. So we have to redo our things there. So here we have a get node. Okay. Yeah, clear. Let's see. Do we have any? Oh, that's the other thing here. Hold on. No, this is using a rigid body or a vehicle body, so that shouldn't be a problem either. Okay. Let's see if anything works now. Okay. Not quite sure what's going on there, but our car bounced into life. But it's weirdly angled there. Okay. Has it? Compression front. Right front. Right rear. Yeah, that pretty much looks like that's all still set up the same. Now, I vaguely remember that we're actually setting all those things somewhere. I might actually want to just have a placeholder here again. Just so that it's easier to put that back to where it was. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to move you over there. And I'm going to move you like that. A little further away. Because that means that when we start, we can actually see our car from outside and see why the hell that thing is. That is definitely working really wrong. But that's okay. All right. So we can see that our rear wheels don't seem to be properly on the ground, and our front wheels bounce like crazy. Oh well. We're not really planning on solving that right now, because that is probably just differences in setup between three and four, and until we're driving, we won't really know whether. That is so weird. Oh well. Definitely is not placing itself on the ground the way that it should. So yeah, plenty of things to figure out on why is it all different than it should be. The other thing which is really interesting is that this is on the inside of the wheel, and these are on the outside of the wheel. Not quite sure if I accidentally did that on purpose, or let's just see that the oh yeah, that's right. That's just because of where that is. Yeah, I'm not sure why it is repositioning itself so weirdly. At the main. Okay, that definitely looks wrong. That's supposed to be around the whole car. Yeah. Let's just do it like this. See if that makes a difference. You guys see black. It could be that you were just coming in when it was crashing last time. Hold on, let me see. No, that might just be my... There we go. Thanks for letting me know. Hopefully that will return to screen. I wonder why that happened. Maybe one of the crashes caused it to misbehave. I wonder how long that's been like that. There we go. It's about a minute delay for me. Okay. So. Bouncy car. Yeah, that's definitely not working the way that it should, but let's at least get our script to work again. Actually, I want to start with getting the dial face back to work. Okay. Ready? And what I want to do here is face dot what is the material here? And actually, I don't want that here. I'm going to say copy. I'm going to paste that over here, and now I'm going to clear it over here. Where is the clear? Clear. Because that is a little bit easier to access. Material override. Set shader. Okay. For material shader material. Okay. Material set shader parameter face. Face, yep. Subviewport, get texture. That way we have the correct one. Boom. All right. Does this still work? We can't see it because our camera is in the wrong place. I'm probably going to put our camera back to where it was before. So let's do that first. Go back to our track here. I'm going to place it over there. I'm going to zero this all out. There we go. And now I'm going to put it back here. Get rid of that one. And with that, we should be back in the driver's seat. All right. And we have our dials working, or at least showing. I don't actually say that they're working. Let's go and see if, now that we've got our scripts disabled, let's see if we can load our other world now without any problems. Perfect. That also doesn't bounce around, so that might actually be a problem with our track. Who knows? Anyway, let's slowly start getting the car back to work. Figure out what the heck is going on here. Well, seeing that we saw this printed, I think it is relatively safe to do that. Okay. Cool. All right. Then gear up. Button 5 and button 4, whatever that is. But this is the weird thing about it. Is we're not getting any mouse events. Okay, so why are we not getting any mouse events? So let's fix that first. Because this is nicely all going through our input map. Now, the other thing is, no. So I have my input map script here. Load as input map. Now what I'm doing here is I'm actually getting that with an onReady var. However, if I remember correctly, Godot autoload. Okay. We should now be able to access that directly. So we got global player variables, and we can get it like that. But there should be a new notation for that. Is that not in the documentation? Yes, it is. Cool. So, and the problem, of course, is that that is a reserved word. I think that's part of our problem. Okay, we're going to two places, in settings and in car. So the first thing that I want to do is actually I want to change this input map settings. Close. So we're going to remove this. All right, I think that's all of them. And now we're going to do the same thing here. And the reason I'm not calling it input map is because I think input map already exists. As a reserved word. I could be wrong about that. In which case, maybe I will remove the settings from this. Maybe I should just have done a search and replace, but I'm a little bit careful with this. Input map, all roads. 1 of 5 map, okay. 2, 3, 5. Okay, so those are now all changed. Cool. All right. Then here we have all those. Okay. Get steering input, get joy, axis, virtual 9, get joy axis. Okay. So what I now want to try and do is we got a, well, that's in our settings. Okay. So what are we doing here? Oh, that's just a helper. Okay. So in here, is it indeed joypad motion? Axis. Axis value. Yeah. That wasn't quite what I had in mind. That's where I wanted to go. So that's where the device number is going from. Okay. So that should still be the same. Bum, ba, da, bum, ba, da, bum. Okay. What's our debugger still doing? Let's shut that one up. That is normal. And we have a lot of spatial remapped things, but nothing else anymore. Okay. All right. So, oops. There. Let's just add another print here, and at least see if we get here. Actually, let's find out if this has changed names. Input. Colon, there is an input event. The input event propagates up through the node tree until the node consumes it. It is only called if input processing is enabled, which is done automatically if this method is overridden, which we've done, and can be toggled with set process input. Cool. To consume the input, we set input as handled. Okay. Which is something that we do because we are setting that here. Where were we just reading that? Dang it. I said all others, not all. I must have clicked the wrong one. Let's go back in there. There we go. Just wanted to clean up a bit. So the other was on the node. Okay. Viewport set. No, it isn't a viewport. Okay. We are doing a get viewport here. So. Okay. Let's see if we are getting anything with this. I don't get why I'm still getting full screen, because I'm specifically telling it not to go full screen. Anyway, escape, map, do a bunch of this, do a bunch of that, cancel, cancel, nothing. So I'm not going in here. No idea what that's going to do. Actually, not true is false. Because that property was renamed from resizable to unresizable, and therefore it needs to be the exact other way. That's a little weird. Okay. Here's a file. That one. Okay. What is it making it? Full screen. So why does it become full screen here, even though I haven't ticked that? Well, my input's definitely not working. But why not? Why are we not getting these input events? Do we even ever get here? Okay, that's interesting. It crashed because we set a breakpoint. Well, actually, it didn't crash. We just had a breakpoint, but because it's full screen. So we definitely were getting here. Is it because this dialog is open that we are no longer receiving key? Handle input locally. If true, this viewport will... That is implemented now as a... Haha, that's why. Okay, so I am guessing that if I undo that... now... Oh, I already moved the breakpoint? I already moved the breakpoint. Okay. So now we're not handling that input locally, which means that the input remains being handled by this guy. That's really interesting. That explains a few other things too that I had problems with. However, the other thing that I still don't get is why does it go full screen? Is there something on this that's causing things to go full screen? Because I'm not making it unless full. This is pressed. So start up. Full screen. Toggle mode, that's fine. Button pressed. That is now called button pressed, not pressed. And that is why this is going wrong. Okay. Let's actually also go for pressed. Find. Oh. Action pressed, just pressed, shift pressed. I should have. Okay, let's do that again. And say, nope, match words pressed. Actually, match case as well. Find. Okay. This is settings. Settings. Invert. Throttle. No, break. Throttle. Invert. That is a button, so that is button pressed. Okay. There. I got it there as well. All right. Fix those things up. All right, cool. Now it's no longer starting full screen. That's going to make life a lot easier for what we're doing right now. Map. Still not getting these things. Okay. Okay. Locally. This one does have handle input locally. Cool. Let me set this property false for the viewport containing inside of it. Okay, so this is this is setting the sub viewport container will automatically set this property to false for the viewport contain inside. Okay, so that's if you use a viewport container, which we're not doing right now. We are using this for a window. Well, I'm actually thinking that this probably isn't even working right now, because one of the big differences between Godot 3 and Godot 4 is in Godot 3, these are just handled inside of Godot. In Godot 4, by default, unless you turn it off, these are actually separate windows. So I have a feeling that this is just being ignored. So the easiest way to solve this is to move some of the code into our dialog so that it's handled over there. So we can do this. And now we can go and have a look over here. And that means that, boom. Okay. All right, so. We are going to go. We're going to move this. Yeah, it's going to. Oh, actually, we really want to give this a better name. Let's actually undo this and do that first. Because in order for that to be done, it's always better to close everything. Okay, so we're going to rename this to input, no, settings, map dialog. There we go. Cool. Now we can open open this back up, and that should now still be linked to that. Perfect. Now we can go and move this out into here. There we go. Don't care about any of you. All right. Now we're going to go copy all this up until here. Okay. And we're going to go put that all there. But now we're going to say signal mapping changed. Okay. Then we're going to go and grab that one. We're going to go and put that over there. And now we're going to say emit signal mapping changed. Okay. Okay. Yeah, that's going to give nice errors. That's fine. So, great. Mapping changed. We're going to set as changed. We're going to close the map dialog, although I think that one is probably something that I also want to do inside of here. Let's put it over here and just call it on itself. Perfect. Okay. And that is also something that I think should be here. There we go. I think that should be fine enough. Okay. All right. So okay. Func edit mapping. No. Open. And I think map. Okay. Map inputs is pmap inputs, and then we can just do say pop-up centered. There we go. Okay. Perfect. So now open. Okay, but now I have a problem. It won't know what that is. Okay. Class name. Input map dialog. Okay. And it's not open, but open. Okay. It's a class name. Why do you not like that? Do I really have to write that all the way out? I do. It's annoying. Okay. Mode. Oh, that's a mode. Okay. Oops. Briggy. I hope I'm not doing this for nothing. Oh, we're gonna. Okay, and you know what? Settings. Dialog. Okay. With that, that no longer works because I now need to go and have that over here. And that can now be self-contained. It says the input map back to none and then hides it. Cool. Sweet. Okay. That should make that self-contained. Cancel. No. Okay, so why is that all of a sudden? That should not be visible by default. Okay. That is better. Okay. I'm actually going to do it with buttons here. Okay. Didn't update it, but okay. Not quite sure which ones we're supposed to be using, but I'm also missing where the save is being called. However, we're getting the events, which is really cool. All right. I'm gonna leave that in. But we were sending that stuff, blah, blah, blah. And if changed, we do this emit signal mapping changed. Oh, and we lost that, of course. That's our problem. There we go. Because when we saved it as a subscene, we lost our setting. Lost a signal, I should say. Okay. And now I can see that that's remapped. Cool. Now, I don't know what button 4 was. This one? No. Button 10? No, that's not the one that we want. That's button 12. Do I have a button 4 on this controller? That's a button 2. Button 1. Well, I'm just going to remap that to... Let's gear up, gear down. Okay. Okay, but I don't get the events when... Oh yeah, because we disabled a whole bunch of things. Okay, so... I wonder if I need to actually call close instead of invisible. Hides window. This is not the same as minimize. Hidden windows can't be interacted with and needs to be made visible with show. Okay. This allows interaction with the window and doesn't change any of its property other than visibility, unlike pop-up. Shows the window and makes it transient. Destroy the window's transient. It is considered a child of another window. The transient window will be destroyed. Return focus to its parent closed. Okay, so we definitely need to have a close here. Alright, where can we find the close? Right. Pop up. Okay. Physical and window. This is window size. Okay, shows the window, makes it transient. So how do we close it? Or is that something that is... No, this is viewport, glass window. Always on top, bottom, okay. Grab focus, has focused. Why? Oh, that's because void is okay. Baron, that's fine. Tension, reset size, that's fine to the. Okay. I think is that we want to do transients. Was that a property? Transient is a property, yeah. True, Windows transient is considered a child of another window. Transient will be destroyed with transparent or turn focus. Parent is when closed. How do you close the window? How do you close it? That just hides it, doesn't close it. There is no close. How are you supposed to close the window? Okay, that's just a mode. Give it a border. Title. And boots. Okay. Just one. So close request. Maybe when the window is closed but is pressed, or when the pop-up window is enabled and the user clicks outside. The signal can be used to handle window closing. It is by connecting it to hide. Okay. Well, I'm gonna go like this. And move that like that. There we go. So I guess we could do, I don't know. It's so weird. Okay. It doesn't make sense that there isn't a close method. That's really weird. I know, Sharda. Welcome. I hope you are enjoying the stream so far. Okay. It's a bit ugly to do the same thing here because it's so hard to see. But I think here we're just going to try hide. Because the big one is going to change anyway. So in this case, pop-up is hidden. I actually want this one to be borderless. Okay. Cancel. Okay. Yeah. Now it hasn't captured. So we can change our gears. Okay. We're making progress. So because this is not properly closed, we're no longer capturing that. Okay, so the other thing is this probably needs to be hide as well. All right. Let's hope that hide indeed does a little bit more than just make it invisible, but does all the other logic that it needs to do. All right, so I think that we have the settings logic working now. So we need to go back to our car. Because we disabled this, because it seemed that that's where we were getting our issues. Oh, look at that. There's another interpolate baked here. Let's see. Do we have that anywhere else in our code? Find. See, there's a couple of them still. Sample baked. There we go. Sample baked. And this is the only one. Okay. All right. Now, I think that our crashes that we were having weren't actual crashes. They were actually that our breakpoints or error points were hit there. But because we were running full screen, it wasn't doing anything with that. Okay, my steering works. Now I don't know what my throttle is. So Map, that one. Map, that one. Okay. Oh, no. All right. Why not? So let's go and print this. Print throttle. Oh, and before we continue, I would really like to take these out. Now that we've proven that that all works. That was a really big change between 3 and 4. It took a bit of effort, a bit more time than I thought. Okay, throttle is 0. Okay. So. All right. That's working. So throttles is definitely working differently. Okay. 0 to 1. So 1. Oh, because of course I'm not logging the brake. Okay. So gear 1. Yeah, we're driving. Vroom. Oh. Wow. Okay. And we're on the side. That means that our vehicle body settings for Godot 3 do not work in Godot 4. Either that or physics in Godot 4 is seriously broken, which I would not be surprised at either. Okay. Let's go and take that out. And let's do this one more time. Break. Oh, that is definitely not doing what it's supposed to. How the heck? Okay, I managed to silence it somehow. Yeah, that's really, really weird. All right, we'll just go very slow. I just want to see if the track looks the way that it's supposed to. I can also see that our dials are not doing what they're supposed to do. That's probably an update mode problem. Let's actually fix that real quick. That wasn't what I had in mind. Okay. Dials. Where are our dials? No. Actually, let's just do that. Because that is most likely an issue with this. So that's disabled. That's fine. Rendering. No. Where are these render targets? Clear mode always, not when visible. Always. There we go. That's why that wasn't working. Okay. Oh, that's still not working. Well, we'll figure that later. They're obviously not doing something properly there. All right, I'm going to take it real slow because obviously we have a very unstable car. But it is getting really late. It's actually past midnight. I should be sleeping already. So all we're going to do right now is just quickly have one slow lap around the track. Just to prove that the basics are starting to work. But yeah, we have quite a bit of fixing left to do. So, for a couple of hours of taking a very old project of mine and trying to get it converted from Godot 3 to Godot 4, I am not complaining about the initial results. Except that our suspension is shockingly bad. Ooh, here we go again. That all said, you know, most things are working the way they should. Oh, almost fell over again. It's hilarious. Dink. All right. I think that is where we shall leave it tonight, guys. Yeah. Plenty of things still to fix. But overall, it's working. I have thought to say, you know, this is code I wrote a long time ago. But it does what it's supposed to do. It's looking... I don't see anything that I would say, like, I would do that desperately different. So, all in all, lots of problems fixed. Lots of small differences between Godot 3 and Godot 4 that got us, you know, a little stuck. But, yeah. I do think that is a decent result. So, I don't know if anybody who is still watching has any questions about what we've done so far. I also hope that the problems in the stream as far as the bandwidth issues that I've been having tonight haven't been too big of a problem. I have a log full of warnings that the stream bit rate fell far below what it should be. So yeah, I do hope that it was possible to follow at least most of what we're doing. I guess I'll be calling my ISP tomorrow and sort of ask them, like, hey, ¿qué pasa? What's going on here? Because it's never been this bad before. So yeah, I hope everybody enjoyed themselves. I'll try and get my camera to work with this again next time as well. It was a bit of a shame that all fell apart, but yeah, productive little night, I would say. So, I guess I'll leave you guys there. Yeah, thank you all for watching. I hope we can do this a little bit more often now. I'm trying to get a schedule together, so fingers crossed that we'll get there. I'm definitely going to do another stream to see if we can, you know, nudge out a few of these issues and at least get this project working properly in Godot 4, so that people who want to give this a try on Godot 4 at least have a working branch that they can go to. I'm still tossing up what bigger challenge I am planning to do. Whether I'm going to continue with the little castle game that I was making, the little dungeon game. I'm sort of on a bit of a blocker with that one, that I'm not quite sure in what direction I want to take that. Obviously, in the last video we did about that one, I was looking at converting it to VR. And while I still think that is a very neat idea, I wasn't really happy with the direction that I was taking with it. But I might revisit that, I'm not sure. The other thing that I have been thinking about picking up again, or maybe even starting from scratch, is the space sim game that I was working on. That might be worth another video to also try and convert that project from Godot 3 to Godot 4. But at the same time, that was one of my earliest projects that I started. And that is one project where I do feel that I've learned a lot since then, that possibly starting from scratch might be a better idea. So those are things that I'm tossing at the moment. I'm sort of going like, okay, what project will I continue on? So that is definitely something that if anybody has suggestions there or ideas there, comment on the video, leave a reaction behind what you would like to see on stream. So yeah, I'm not sure yet. There's also part of me that sort of wonders, like, should we start just looking at Godot 4 in a more general sense, just trying things out and showing how things work. So if people have questions about, okay, how do you do something in Godot 4? You know, I've got tutorials on how to do it in Godot 3, but I don't know how to do it in Godot 4. Could you spend, a stream about that? I'm open to those sort of suggestions as well. All right. I shall leave it there. Thank you all for watching. And I hope you all have a great night.